of Selectmen meeting to order for Thursday, September 20th. All three selectmen are present, town administrator is present, recording secretary is present. Leo Martell, for the record, is recording for those who don't wish to attend. Thank you, Leo. Okay, gentlemen, let's start off with the minutes from last time.
I'll make a motion to approve the regular meeting minutes from September 13th, 2018, as amended by Mike and myself.
Second.
Dave, what was the one word I missed that you caught? Just out of curiosity.
Well, I thought one was Tom, but it wasn't that.
Spelling was correct.
Update, it was, staining and back brushing, not
Oh, okay,
spreading and back brushing.
got it, okay. very-
Spraying and back brushing, I'm
Okay.
sorry.
Okay, so yeah, it's spreading, okay.
Yeah.
And all in favor of the minutes as amended?
Aye.
Aye. For the record, best minutes to date.
Thank you.
I was reaching to find something.
Public comment,
Yeah, I'm looking for my agenda here.
yeah. You did that right on the top.
I did.
We were gonna hide it on you, but we never did.
That's right here, I got
We didn't have to.
it. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna open up for public comment. I'll start with the chief here. Nothing?
No, thank you.
And Mike, anything for public comment? Okay, I'm gonna close public comment. We're just gonna start right at the agenda.
And I'll recuse myself as I have on these other ones.
Mike, good morning, good afternoon, Mike, how you doing?
Mike,
What are we gonna do for you? You made a decision.
I have,
Come back here.
I would like my 60 yards of fill. There's a house at the bottom of Mills Hill, on the left. They have a sign, they're looking for fill.
Yes,
You can send my 60 yards of fill there.
okay. I can do that. Time frame? Is that someone else's property?
Yes, that's someone else's property, and, yeah, I'm glad you kicked me in the rear end there, because I have not spoken to these people.
Okay,
I thought it would be best, that way they'd know that this fill's on the up and up.
yes,
If you or Bob, selectmen, would, or contact them or whatever. I don't know the people's name, I just saw that.
if I read between the lines, I think you're donating to these people on behalf of you or yourself.
Yeah,
Okay, great, I have no problem with that. I think we can reach out to them and, make it happen.
okay, so that way they know,
It's coming from you, and it's a part of making you whole again.
okay, all right, yeah, and, there's no strings attached.
No, there's, absolutely.
Okay,
What is the road that the property's on? Start going north.
Bob, you familiar with the sign you're talking about?
Oh.
Yeah, that was where
Rob Carney.
Rob Carney was living, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they have that sign there in the bushes.
Thing is, what I wanna do is, I'll instruct the road agent, make sure that it happens. I'll instruct the road agent to coordinate with the people ahead of time, make sure that it's still wanted.
okay,
Because in the event it's not wanted, I don't wanna deliver something that's not wanted.
okay, well, in that case, just let me know and I'll drive around,
Understood?
and I'll find another
Okay,
free fill sign,
okay,
and also, if all they wanted was like a pickup truck load.
oh, we're gonna give them more than that, you're gonna,
Well, I know you can, but I mean, I don't wanna, force something on them. Just let me know, and I'll go out and I'll look again.
that's, the thing is, that's a very honorable, and I think, I thank you for bringing that recommendation, and we'll make it happen.
Okay,
Bob, do you have a problem with that?
No, I saw the sign too. I think they're looking for quite a bit more fill than a pickup load anyway, so.
oh, okay, I mean, I just pulled that number out of thin air, Bob.
No, they have I think it's on the sign. It's like how many yards they were looking for last time. I went by it,
I just saw, Phil,
I've been seeing it for like 10
I
years
might
now.
not have been obeying the speed limit as I was coming down the hill.
I find that hard to believe.
You didn't hear that, right, chief?
What?
Okay. And we'll make it happen then, sir.
Okay.
You have anything else for us, for the board?
No, I think I'm gonna wait.
Understood. Just for the record, I got the results of your appeal. It was shared with us through our town attorney.
Yeah.
And, are you, just out of curiosity, are you pursuing it further, or are you gonna let it, stop?
No, I'm pursuing it for the.
Okay, because, before the town does anything on that road, I just wanted to let you know, we're not gonna do anything until, you've exhausted your appeals.
Okay.
So just, that's an FYI for you.
Oh, all right. Cause I had taken down the post when I first got that letter a few weeks ago.
Yeah, I saw that, it was, I think it was a good gesture on your behalf, your behalf, good gesture on your behalf, but the thing is, it's an appeal process, and the thing is, it's gotta be respected. And-
Yeah.
And I think that's appropriate.
Okay, well, I didn't know if you were gonna show up looking to turn around. So,
Okay, but the thing is, we'll leave it at that, and, I think it's another 30 days or another month before we'll hear anything, correct? I'm not sure what the legal, we didn't get
I
it.
got no idea how long this next procedure's gonna last.
Exactly, so we'll find out.
Okay,
Okay, have a good evening, thank you for coming in.
all right, thanks a lot.
Thanks, Mike.
Okay, Wayne.
Okay, chief, could you come up here for a moment? And, for the record, Dave returns to the board, time is, 7:06, Dave returns to the board. Okay, if you recall last week, we have a Dunbarton sign that we were gonna dispose of in the trash, but there was some public interest in someone retaining that sign, so we put out a message on the town website. And we got a few people who are interested in that. We have a variety of people who are interested, and we said we'd do a little quick raffle, and
You don't think you ought to do an FBI check on this guy?
well, Chief, did you put your name in the raffle?
I've actually had one though.
No, okay, that was the criteria for you to be on this,
deadline.
you missed the deadline. Okay, but if you'd be so kind,
I actually
Just make sure
posted
you-
it that the person that wins the raffle needs to be responsible for removing
Exactly.
the signs.
Make sure you don't read Mike's name.
okay,
I know what it is.
Bob Martell, no, it's Sean Mills. Congratulations, Sean Mills, we got a phone number, Lee, did you get the appropriate notification? He's got a week to move it out there.
Okay,
Done. I can't believe I came in tonight. That's all we got.
No, we have mailbox items. Okay, let's, we recall last week, we have some old business from last week, it's in the mailbox though, but I'm gonna continue it on. There was a letter for the, just expressing the town's interest in the property that was recently acquired by Miss Catherine Lane. And, gentlemen, did you have a chance to review it?
Yeah, we saw that.
Okay, we can sign that tonight and send it out.
I think we should sign it.
is it the right one? Did I print it twice?
Just make sure you don't use the one that says hour.
That sounds good.
This is how you do it, this is how you take care of it, so there's no.
We kept
I
changing the
signed right
letter.
into it, did you wanna put the proper spelling in there for the name? Actually, can I give, oh, I was gonna give her that copy.
Yeah, for the spelling?
That's for sure.
Okay.
See how her name is spelled.
This is for the spelling.
The spelling of the name's okay.
Thank you, Dave.
Okay.
Thank you.
Do the map and lot number on the property.
What's that?
Do the map and lot number maybe, or.
Okay.
Yeah,
Regarding the, we had some bids, we're in the process of getting bids for the highway garage and for the safety center, police station entrances. We only got one bid in. We
It's
have-
actually for the transfer station and the safety
I
complex.
stand corrected.
In
And,
the safety complex, I did have another person express interest this week that's gonna come down.
Okay,
Okay.
good.
So we'll have a second number on that
Be
line.
the third one.
so that's
Oh,
what,
Oh, the vinyl, no,
Vinyl
this is
siding,
paint.
okay.
this bid, vinyl is still a work in progress, so these
Yeah.
bids are work in progress. I wanna see if we can get them in, wrapped up by next week so we can make some
Yeah,
action.
Yeah,
Time is
do
going
you
by too
wanna
fast.
get me their name and I can kinda
Reach.
hound them, so
Yep.
that I can keep it moving?
Okay, This is we got a report, this is from a copy of the engineer's report, of the Purgatory Road. It looks like it was well done. They made some recommendations in here, which we should abide by. But if you haven't had a chance to read the report, I think it's well done. The comments are, it's recommended that town take necessary steps to accept the roadway as constructed after installation of the signs as referenced above, and receipt as-built plans and turnaround deed. This has gotta be coordinated with the signs, have to be coordinated with the road agent, and the plans and all that kind of stuff, so that's the action item, Lean.
Correct, so the report has been printed for the road agent, and I did speak to Brian Nordell. He is going to be dropping off the as-built for our approval, and then he's also working on the deeded language for the turnaround easement.
Okay,
So that'll be coming by tomorrow, and then with his as-built, drafty as-built, he'll provide me with a check for that $200 invoice that's there. Because
okay,
that was part of the agreement that he pays the
Correct.
cost for the
I
engineering.
would also like the chief to get a copy of the turnaround agreement so that his police officers are aware, you know, where people are supposed to turn around there and
Yeah,
everything else.
Yeah, the as-built should show the turnaround.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just so his department has that.
Okay, go ahead, Leo.
Okay, so in that turnaround, is that gonna be for parking in the winter also? You know, I ice fished there, and I've had problems parking there because he plowed to his driveway, and then he didn't want you parking in front of his driveway. So,
Well, that's where I think the road agent needs to chime in now, because once we accept it, we're gonna be responsible for
Well,
plowing.
Right,
we
right.
have to have a public hearing, so public hearing.
to accept the road.
To
Yes.
accept the
Yeah,
road,
right,
and I guess
right.
it would be a good question to
Yeah,
ask.
And the other thing, Leo, is, I'm in agreement with you, because he was plowing his own driveway, he was always actually blocking Purgatory Pond Road, which,
Right,
you know, up to a foot or foot and a half, a regular pickup truck can still drive through there if you wanted
that
to.
may be true, but a car, you know,
Right.
and so I do have a truck, but I've been down there where people with cars have gone down, and there's no place to park, and then he gets angry for parking in front of his driveway, but it's
Yeah.
a state road, and what are you supposed to do, you know?
Yeah, I'm in agreement with you, I think that turnaround's pretty substantial.
Okay,
So
yeah,
I think,
all I care is that there's a place to park, cause I do ice fish there, Bob does too, you know, we.
Yeah,
we go
I think
there.
it's something that we can bring
Yeah.
here, and the road agent's gonna be,
Yeah.
his plow
Yeah.
drivers have to be,
Yeah.
be aware of
All
what they
right,
have to
yeah.
plow.
well, Mike, I think, even before the hearing, as a board, we could work on it as part of reviewing his easement agreement to the town for the turnaround.
Uh-huh.
We could review it at that time, so
Absolutely, make sure
maybe at
it's,
the hearing we have the answers.
Yeah, there
oh,
might
yeah,
be,
but ahead of time, agree.
That-
I mean, Jeff might wanna put signs up to say no overnight parking,
Right,
you know.
yeah, right.
For
I
snow
understand that
removal,
part, but
yeah.
for the daytime to fish, you know,
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
you wouldn't fish during a snowstorm, so we wouldn't be in his way, actually,
Yeah.
you know,
Right,
but,
but no, I'm in agreement with that, Leo, I think we should check that.
and that road's not paved anyways, right?
No, it's dirt.
So they can totally be adjusted if it needs be, yeah, okay.
Okay,
I'm gonna just read this out.
absolutely, okay. I just put a calendar, Thursday, September 27th. Sergeant Remenard wants to come in and talk about a grant he's pursuing for, in a joint pursuing with the fire department for first responders, in support and treatment of drug overdoses. He just wants to talk to us about it. I think the fact he's looking for grants is good. There's a potential to be some help to the community, and he was talking about at-risk families and stuff like that. So that's not a problem, chief, we'll put him on the agenda.
Please do, it's a very good program, and it's something that he's taken on right from the get-go.
Thank you, we'll look forward to seeing him. Okay, just last week, if you recall, we asked Woody for a quote on the truck, and he came back to me and told me they sent the wrong quote. He sent the correct quote this time, and the prices are exactly where they should be, so,
We'll review that too.
okay, but the prices look great, as discussed and as approved by us at the town meeting. And the
Right, they're
extra-
within the guidelines of the warrant.
Yeah, and the extra we approved for the mirrors.
Yeah.
So there was no problem with
Okay,
that.
quick question here on, Purgatory Pond Road, have we paid this engineering bill?
He's coming in tomorrow with a check.
Check,
Okay,
that was part of the,
that's his agreement, yeah.
so we can keep that going with the bids
Yeah.
process. Okay, as far as, Kelsey Road, that's on hold until, we find out which could you ask the legal, is the email when they might, when they anticipate time before the court?
I'm not gonna do anything.
No, but thing is, I don't wanna wait till winter before we do.
My attorney said it will be 30 days, again, they have 30
30
more
days.
days.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay, well, that's good,
To
that's it,
decide if they're gonna take it to Superior Court for an appeal.
okay. That's goes the lane still. Okay, we have a copy of just for the town, and kudos to Linda Landry, town clerk, for having she was audited by the Department of Safety and Division Motor Vehicles, and, everything that she's accounted for was, all inventory items entrusted to the agent, Linda Landry, was accounted for, and so it was a good audit.
Okay.
Let her see the title of that, so she. That goes in, could you put that document, do you see this one? You need to sign, I need to show it too, I saw it already.
which one is that?
Just it's, budget hearing type stuff.
Oh, that's for budget next year.
Yep.
This is for the file, okay.
All right, I've got some comments, gonna reserve my comments to it, we bring it back to the board after public comment, so I'm gonna open up public comment again. Nope, back to the board. Okay, Dave, I'm gonna bypass you, Bob, and let you go first tonight. Anything for the board?
Well, the only thing I had was, I kind of didn't know which one of you guys would answer that question, but I guess I'll take it on and reach out to Justin Rue
Okay,
on the issue, with his project over at, it used to be, the Vale House, but, you know, the McCubbins.
Do you want me to speak on that, if you like, just so you know where they're at? Recently, you said you received a call from the Rios,
Justin.
who now owns the McCubbins
Right.
property. They had approached the building department to utilize that tea room that Corn was using for her occasional tea parties and pastries and whatnot. And the description that was given to the building department sounded, that was like it was within the same scope of the project. And there was a consultation meeting with a planning board member and Donna, and during that discussion, it was clearly stated that this is just consultation, it's non-binding. But based on what was discussed, they all decided that it was in the same realm. But then the building department received a letter from the state saying that there had been an inspection done of the premise, and that there was a number of violations that needed to be taken care of before they would be granted their license to operate this sandwich place. So with that letter, that kind of raised a red flag, and then followed by a letter that was handed out at Old Home Day that said they were in the process of opening the project, and it involved a number of hours, employees, and so the building department, as far as the permit, home occupation category, thought that these two pieces brought them to another level of operation. So they have sent them out a letter asking that they meet with the department and or follow through with meeting with the zoning board and the planning board for approval by those boards, because again, what they received after the fact sounded like it was another level of service, that where there could be things that needed to be addressed, one of which requires building permits for licensed trades, parking facility employees, other than home occupation of the owner. So it's gotten to, it's morphed into a bigger project than they had expected, so they're trying to help them get through the process and go through the proper channels of getting everything, where it's appropriately,
it's, the thing is, it is hard to navigate business in town. zoning, planning, and so I think as long as we're in an assistance mode of helping these people navigate through that, I think that's a good thing. Any comments, Dave, on that?
No,
Bob?
Does that answer your
No.
questions about
Yeah.
what you need to talk to him about?
Yeah,
Okay.
So when will Donna be meeting with these folks again?
They've requested a meeting this coming Wednesday, so next Wednesday they'll be meeting with her.
And in attendance will be?
She hasn't clarified that, she would like either myself or a selectman or, so she, and Mike Cummings has offered to be there as well, so.
Excellent, okay. If you need help, let us know.
I will.
Bob, if you want to attend, that might be a good meeting to go to.
what time is that at?
I'm not, I wanna say it's around 9:30, I'm not 100% sure, I can confirm that, but if you'd like to attend, I can let Donna know to reach out to you,
Yeah, please.
yeah.
Okay,
yeah, I think it'd be good for us to be there.
Yeah.
Stay on top of the situation before it gets,
as I said, sometimes it can be kind of difficult to navigate, because of sort of the boards, what do they want, and what, you know, it can go on for months sometimes, as we learned with some of the other issues before the planning board. Okay, anything else, Bob?
That's it.
Okay, Dave, to you?
the only thing I will get Lean the number for Gene LaValle as the siding contractor, I wrote it down. There's a really good cider that one of my customers uses here local and,
For the siding of the,
of the
Safety
safety complex.
okay,
So I'd like to meet with him, Lean, when we get him, so I can give him the same description I gave the first
that's
time.
perfect,
the
that'd be
same.
great.
But removing and reusing one side on the back and then all new stuff on the front.
Okay,
Anything else, Dave?
No, I, did speak with Don Tuttle, I met him down in Goffstown briefly, and he said that he gave you the
Yeah.
quotes.
yeah, but we'll hold off on that until I get my second quote. Brian Searle did say that he was absolutely interested in giving us a quote on the other work that
Okay,
needs to be
great.
done.
Okay, anything else?
Nope, that's
Okay. I met with last Friday, as you recall, last week I announced I was going to the NHMA
Oh, yeah.
legislative conference, and I went last Friday. That was an eye-opener in the sense that, I didn't realize there were so many things in front of the legislative body in Concord that affect the towns. But the thing is, essentially, we established positions of which things we're gonna attack, which things are a higher priority, and we're gonna we change languages and all that kind of stuff. For the most part, I'd say 95% of the time I was with the majority. Dunbarton voted with the majority. I saw it all as beneficial to Dunbarton. I thought it was kind of interesting that one of the big things that's evolving in New Hampshire, these overnight stays, like in neighborhoods where you rent out your house,
Oh, Airbnb?
Airbnb.
Yeah,
And many towns spoke up, and the thing is, they're all in favor of it until you have one bad episode, then it's all downhill from there. Because what's happening is like these nice quiet neighborhoods, they have like, in a house, they'll put beds in the basement, beds upstairs, and they'll rent out like a 4-bedroom house and put 20 people in there. And it turns out to be just a wild party and just upsets the entire neighborhood. And so the thing is, at the state level, the state doesn't, the geneticist, the state does not really want each town to come up with their own specific ordinances, so the state's gonna tackle it from a statewide point of view and see what they can do. But that was a kind of controversial thing, because a lot of people who do not have that or in favor of it, some people who did want it, who have it now, said many problems. Okay, but it was interesting, I think we should attend in the future, that conference. Lastly, I worked with the planning board last night. There was some discussion about updating zoning ordinances, zoning manual. And it was brought to my attention that there are ordinances in there which were inserted by selectmen approximately 12, 15 years ago. They don't belong in the zoning ordinance, and so I'm doing some research, and I'm gonna continue what we started last November, a top to bottom review of the ordinances. As you recall, we had some of the police department was working on, and we found out that early this year, that they did not have to go before the legislative body. We can make changes to them and implement them if necessary. So the thing is, we're gonna look at Joe Marie, I'm working with Joe Marie in the office and with Lean, we're gonna identify all the ordinances, where they are, and the status of them. And then we'll bring this back to the board for discussion down the road. Gentlemen, I just wanna make sure you're just aware of that. Because there are some of them, again.
So you work on, showing us the old ones and the rewording and.
and some which, what do we wanna do with, if we wanna do with anything with them.
Okay.
But the two ones in the zoning ordinance have to come out, there's a sign ordinance in the zoning, and there's also one on, what's the second one? I mean,
I can't recall.
there's another one in there too, I think it's noise, yeah, it is noise.
Is it the noise ones in there
Yeah,
also?
and so they were just, as far as zoning, it doesn't belong in that document.
Yeah.
And so Donna is actually spearheading, revamping the entire document, to bring it up to speed.
Now, I know they've used, the noise ordinance down when they were talking about, even the drive-through for ice cream on the store down there. So I know they use that ordinance out of the zoning, so how would that not belong there?
It doesn't, it has to be an RSA that's land use that is adopted at the legislative body, so if the select board creates an ordinance, that's an ordinance that stands on its own.
So they were talking about doing a drive-through like a Dunkin' Donuts, and people, the neighbors and the butters complained, thought it might be too noisy down there, and I know they use that ordinance as one of their
Yeah.
criteria
Yeah, so,
on that
But
project.
the thing is, that nothing will be changed in a vacuum, we'll get input from, again, the police department and all the people would be affected by it. Okay, I know, Chief, you did a lot of work, some of your folks, your sergeant did a lot of work on, and some of them are still on the table, we just gotta dust them off and probably revisit them. So he may be getting a few phone calls from Joe Marie, any assistance that he could provide would be helpful.
yeah.
Okay, so, again, that's just a work in progress, I just wanna at least announce that to the board. Now I'm gonna go to the town administrator.
All I have is, we talked a little bit on the Purgatory Pond Road. He's coming to the inspection you have in your packet is the
I just reviewed it.
complete and final inspection of the road, and the road agent's been copied on that. He'll be providing us with an as-built of the road for us to review and approve, and then he's also finishing up with the easement turnaround that we will have to review and approve as well, so I'll make sure the road agent is included with that. I wanna let the board know that the files of the town will be audited by the Department of Labor. This is scheduled for early October. She stopped in yesterday when I was exiting the joint loss meeting, and that happened to be one of the requirements that she'll be checking to see that we're still active in our role in joint loss. So that one, she said that was already checked off, but we will be having our files reviewed in early October.
Lee, was that joint loss on our calendar?
Uh-huh,
I didn't think it was on there.
September, yeah.
Anything else, Lee?
Yeah, it's because it's quarterly, she doesn't always get it, but she's usually pretty good about it. I also received a call from Bob Grondin from Lamontine Builders. He wanted the town to be aware that he's contacted the road agent to let him know that he'll be applying the final top coat of pavement and finishing up for the shoulder work, for Overlook Drive by the end of October. And this will be followed up with a request to release the remaining bond sometime in November. So we'll be holding a couple of public hearings for accepting roads, reducing bonds, so
Yeah,
well,
we
should have a couple of
150,000
weeks.
or something.
Yeah, we need engineers, final engineers report.
Yeah, that's already been done, the final
Okay.
engineer, so.
And just for the board's information, I want one alibi here. Somehow, some law firm contacted the office looking for my address to serve me as a chairman of the select board.
Yeah, you've been served?
I have not been served yet, I guess they can't find me, my road is not exactly on all GPSs, which is good.
Did you give them the address?
The town administrator office did give them my address.
I can only suspect that I received an email the day before we received the call in the office that, George Sansucci said that a lot of the towns were being served, and it was, Eversource,
Well,
so.
I'm glad you're chair this year.
I know, it is,
If you want, I can
Chief,
drive
that's
a fly.
how fast you wanna get rid of me?
I can't understand why they go to your house to serve you when you're a public official, why can't they serve the town?
Exactly, so I don't know what's going on with that, so.
Yeah,
But it's one of the bigger law firms in Concord, so it's, it had me thinking for a minute. And Allison, who's called me, gave me the courtesy heads up, and she was all, "What did you do, Mike?" Okay, enough said on that.
Bob told you to be nicer to us.
Thank you, Bob. I'm waiting for a motion, gentlemen. We have no non-public tonight.
Going to do
I'll make a motion to adjourn
public comment?
We did that.
at 7:29.
Second.
All All in favor?
Aye.